Dear listeners, I have so much to tell you, and I often don't know where to start. It seems the world doesn't want to admit that sometimes we make mistakes and that sometimes the wrong person gets punished for something they didn't do. Not all of us have been personally affected, but many of us have been impacted by this reality. And I feel like it's my responsibility to share these stories with you and to tell you what I've learned about wrongful convictions. When someone is wrongfully convicted, it's easy to focus only on the exoneree. They're the person whose freedom was stolen, and they're the person who is kidnapped from their own life. But today, we continue the conversation by hearing from someone who lived through Jamie's wrongful conviction in a different but equally profound way: his sister, Shawna. While Jamie endured the injustice from inside prison walls, Shawna grappled with grief, frustration, and a relentless drive to see her brother's name cleared. Her voice adds a powerful dimension to this story, reminding us that wrongful convictions don't just affect the person behind bars, they ripple through families and even entire communities. Shauna's perspective helps to remind us that behind every exoneree is a network of people who also suffer, adapt, and fight to hold on. And so today, this is a conversation not only about loss and what it means to bear witness to injustice from the sidelines, but it's also a conversation about loyalty and the unshakable bond between siblings in the face of injustice as they rebuild a life that never should have been taken from them. So, welcome, Shawna, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really looking forward to having a conversation with you because I think it's so important for us to appreciate that there are more people affected by a wrongful conviction than just the exoneree. So, you are Jamie's sister,
Hmm.
arguably the more knowledgeable sister. Um, so
The only sibling, yes.
So obviously the better sibling. Um, so can you just kind of
Won't tell
give
him that.
us can you give us an idea of what your relationship was like before the wrongful conviction?
Oh, we were best friends. Like we're a military family, right? So we moved every 5 years. So it was really hard to make friends
Mm,
that many times. Like you're
sure.
in a new place, you got to meet new people. He was always the butterfly. I was not. So we were kind of like best friends. We hung out all the time. We did all sorts of crazy shit together. Our parents probably don't know about, or maybe they did. I don't know. They never said
That's
anything.
every sibling
They never
relationship. There's
said
lots of stuff.
anything. But I mean,
Wait, parents don't need to know.
yeah.
Um, so you were close
Yeah,
growing up,
yeah.
and so when all of this went down and all of these accusations are being launched against Jamie, could you ever for a second think that there was any truth to any of this?
No, no,
No.
not at all. He's not that kind of guy. Never has been.
Right. And so you're seeing this play out. And what effect does this have on the family? Because presumably your father's watching, and how do you react as a family to this?
Well, we just try and rally around him and make sure that his butt's covered. But I mean, obviously, this one was a little more devious than we thought. You know, her and her friend hatched this plan,
Sure.
and all it was to keep him, us from getting any access to Dustin, is what it all
Right.
amounted to.
Yeah. And
He just
so
wanted to be in his son's life,
it
which is
seems a
any.
little extreme, like to be pulling, I don't know, antics like this. And you're watching this from the sidelines, and I'm sure you can see what is going on, that there are these false accusations being made against him. And what's going through your mind? Like, how can you make sense of that? Or do you make sense of that?
No idea what was going on. I was trying to figure out why she wanted to play these weird games. only to discover that, she wasn't completely there.
Well, yeah, and that may be the answer we're looking
Like,
for.
just little things. I kept telling him, I said, like, she's not, she, mm, you need to do
There's
what you
something off.
can to, yeah. And of course, all that fighting that she did to keep him away, and then she just abandons her own son to her parents. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, like, what was that all about?
Yeah, like to what end at this
Yeah.
point, right? That you've concocted all of these stories, and then the thing you were fighting for, you end up giving away anyways. So once Jamie was convicted, did you have any contact with him? Although I guess not too much because he was in solitary most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't
Um,
actually.
yeah,
Not.
so that
I mean, he tried to call as often as he could, but I mean, I was also policed on my end from my ex-husband, who,
okay. So there was extra barriers in there kind of
yeah,
preventing open communication. So
yeah,
when Jamie
that was
came
rough.
home, when were you able to reconnect with Jamie?
Oh, I think he tells me I saw him on the news, and my first instinct was to call my dad. I did, and Jamie was there, and my dad
Okay.
immediately handed him the phone, and we just like nothing had happened, like no time had elapsed. But I mean, we do that, so
Of course.
yeah.
But how much time had elapsed? Because at this time it's after his sentence, so it's like 5+ years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it would have been a
Okay.
lot.
And so you reconnect and you're able to just kind of pick up where you left off?
Well, we tried. I mean, a lot had gone on, so like you don't know what he wants to talk about. Neither of us
Sure.
knows what's the safe zone.
And have you figured that out?
Oh yeah, we figured it out now.
Oh, good. Okay. And because you do join him on a lot of his
I do.
speaking engagements. And why? Why do you do that?
Well, first of all, it was just curiosity because every time we go, I learn something new. Because every time it's ever so slightly different. It's not the same story. It's not verbatim. Like there's always new little tidbits I pick up, and I'm going like, oh, hey,
Okay.
I don't think I knew that before. You know,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
keeps it fresh and interesting.
So it's just for that, or like do you feel it has that changed?
Well, it did in the beginning, but now I just kind of like I like going, like find out what he's all about and what motivates him to do this. Because I don't know if it was me in his shoes that I could be out there and open the way he is, like rip
A
that band-aid
hundred.
off every time and expose your soul. Like I I don't know that I personally could do it, and maybe I just do it because I there is his support because I know I can't do it. And
Yeah,
it's kind of, I don't know, want to take the word away, but our story,
of course.
you
No,
know?
and that's why I
Not
wanted
that
to
I want
have
to put
you.
myself in his shoes because I can't, but it's, you
No,
know,
it is. And
it's,
that's why I wanted to, like, why I jumped at the opportunity to speak with you, because it is like it's a family's story. And that's the thing about wrongful convictions is, sure, you have the exoneree, but it's the ripple effect, right? Like it's
exactly.
all the so many people that are impacted. And sometimes it's people you don't even realize are the ones that are being impacted. And I mean, he just like, I want to go back, sorry, to what you were saying of,
Mhm.
every time he rips off the band-aid, because he has shared his story well over 400 times now,
I think we're in the
right?
full 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that is a crazy
Crazy
number of
amount of time.
times to, like you said, bare your soul, to share your story and to relive that trauma. And like
Mhm.
you, I'm not sure that I would be able to do it that many times. I do also feel like I'm probably responsible for about 30 of those 400 times.
Yeah, but that's okay.
And it is. I think it's
You've been
so,
like a great support for all of this,
and
and he
he is for
probably would have
so.
stopped long ago had it not been for you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, and I know that he is a source of strength for so many others who find themselves in similar situations.
Mhm.
And so, you were saying that you like to join him to learn what he's about, what his experience was like. So, what have you learned listening to him? Like, what are some of the take home messages for you?
Wow. Um, he's just done so much, but he's like when he's trying to fight for his case, he put himself in like solitary
Yes.
to like he did that intentionally. And I'm going
Yep.
like, "Oh, okay." But,
Who does that?
yeah, but he needed to focus. And that's the only way he could focus because like, I'm sure jail's not a quiet place.
Sure.
Like I don't
And
want to
well,
find
and
out.
for his
I
own
don't want to find out.
safety,
Exactly. Yeah, cuz like,
right?
like he's shared a little more personal stories through his journey than I don't think he intended to, but just one day it came out and you know, I'm really surprised that he's still in one piece.
Yes.
He could have gone off the deep end as they say or been medicated or any number of things,
Yes.
not been
Abs
here.
absolutely. I mean, so I guess listening to him, you get a real sense of the strength of his character.
Yes.
And how would you describe him as a person today? Because what makes me laugh is when he speaks for me, he'll say, "Oh, I'm angrier now. I'm harder now," than he was before his wrongful conviction. And I always laugh and I'm like, those are not the words I would ever use to describe you, which I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the prison experience changing who you are, but,
But everybody
you know,
describes themselves harder and than anyone else would.
sure,
Like I would describe myself as a loner and I'm sure he doesn't. So,
fair, fair.
yeah, I mean,
But would you say he is, a hard person, a difficult person, you know, an
no.
uncaring person,
Uh,
like
no. Like he's trying to help as many people as he can, like, even if he can't, he tries to point you in the right direction.
it's like he's able to draw on his resources
Yeah,
to help other people and to just try to prevent things from repeating themselves.
exactly. If he doesn't have the answer, he'll find somebody that does.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and again, he's got so many resources now, absolutely. And so with joining him in his talks and kind of going on the road with him, would you say that you are now an advocate against wrongful convictions?
Of course.
Would this have ever been anything that you would have considered before his experience? Like, was the language wrongful conviction even in your vocabulary before this happened to him?
Well, but I'm not one for like injustice and I've never been that way. Like if
But
someone
I
wrongs
just mean,
someone, then it's just wrong. I've always been that kind of a person. So this is just kind of like it's a new experience. It's a new way to think.
and that's exactly what I mean. That before any of this happened to Jamie, like, would you have ever thought that something like this could happen to someone in your family? Like,
No,
would that have ever crossed your mind?
no.
Right? And so now, I'm assuming your eyes have been open to this reality that, like, oh, it's a very real possibility.
It happens
And
a
so,
lot, actually. Yeah.
right? And so, what could you offer to others who may be in a similar situation?
Mm.
Like, if there's just somebody who is like, my brother is facing charges against a crime that we know he didn't commit.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for them? What drawing on your experience, what advice do you have for them?
Mm. Wow. I guess you just make sure you've got all of your facts, all of your ducks in a row, per se, and just keep fighting. Like, always make sure you got everything word for word. Like, don't ever stop fighting. It will get, well, it will get better eventually.
And would you say that this is one of the lessons you learned by being and seeing Jamie, or being with and seeing Jamie talk?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. Like, the way he's impacted young people's lives. Like, you were there, the Guelph Humber,
Yes,
the young ladies. I know he touched their lives. The, the, like, I saw it. I saw the switch go off. And I know there's going to be change. It's going to take some time, but it will happen. And I saw it with my own eyes. And like, it will happen. It takes one to make the change. And he's still done it
absolutely.
slowly, and he's impacted other, well, I was going to say young people's lives, but I'm sure he's impacted many lives. And they just take that one step closer. Just keep going.
Yes. And I love that you say that, all it takes is one person to make a change. And so, having gone through all this and having seen everything that Jamie's gone through, you wouldn't say that the situation is hopeless, that
No,
we do have hope for the future generations.
we do. Yes, we do.
Amazing.
We do.
Amazing. And with that, I see that we're pretty much at time.
Okay.
So I want to thank you so much for joining me. This has been just a great alternative perspective to wrongful convictions and what it's like to have to manage life with a wrongful conviction in your presence. Today's conversation with Shawna is a powerful reminder that wrongful convictions don't happen in isolation. As she tells us, while her brother, who is innocent of the alleged crime, was in prison, families were fractured, relationships were strained, and years were lost to silence, confusion, and heartbreak. And yet, as evidence of the strength of the truth, Shauna stood by her brother through it all. Not always publicly, not always easily, but always with a quiet strength that matched his own. Her journey shows us the importance of support, of truth telling, and of refusing to give up, no matter how long the fight takes, because change doesn't start in courtrooms. It starts in families, in conversations, and in the courage to keep showing up. And while today's letter may have piqued your interest, this is only part of the story. There's still so much more to tell. The effects of wrongful convictions are far reaching. They touch us all. I'll write to you again soon as I continue my conversations with those whose lives have been impacted by a wrongful conviction. But until then, I remain wrongfully yours. If you have something that you want to talk about with me, or even if you want to just send me some words of encouragement, you can drop me a line at wrongfullyyourspodcast@gmail.com. You can also check out my website, kellylozon.ca, for more information about me and the kinds of things that I do. So if today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with others, liking and reviewing us, and following the podcast on your favorite platform so you don't miss what comes next. And as always, thank you for listening to Wrongfully Yours, where we believe that telling these stories is the first step towards preventing the next injustice. So until next time, stay curious, stay hopeful, and keep fighting for justice.